So if you grew up on Xbox like I did, that sound probably gives you a lot of nostalgia. For me, Halo 3 is one of the first games that comes to mind when I think of I wish I could replay this game from start to finish and feel the same exact way I did the first time I played through levels like the Ark and the Covenant. These missions are some of my favorite missions from any Halo game ever, and for that matter, any video game of all time. Halo, while it is my favorite video game franchise, is a video game that I wish I could play more and more. Every time a new one comes out, I get more and more excited for what's to come, except for Halo 5. Halo 5 sucked. Let's just get that out of the way. But what video games make you guys go, I wish I could replay that again? For me, it would have to be Halo 3, and then 2 other games. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below telling me what video game you wish you could play again. Like I said, Halo 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. It is my introduction into the Halo series, which gives me a lot of nostalgia. It also is the game that introduced me into first-person shooters. I had never played a first-person shooter before this. It is the one game that I can go back to all the time and still enjoy the game, but I wish I could have that feeling of, wow, this is brand new. I want to play this non-stop for the next 2 weeks. Like opening your gift on Christmas. I've always wanted a game that can give me that satisfaction of being able to just go into it and feel like I'm doing something new every time. But obviously, over time, as we get used to the games, we lose that, I want to call it adrenaline, but I don't, for lack of better terms, I'm going to call it adrenaline. So, Halo 3 is my first pick, but what is your first pick? I'd like you guys to give me your top 3. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next one now. How many of you remember your first time playing Minecraft? Playing Minecraft my first time, I was probably about 12 years old, and I played it for the first time on the Xbox 360. Minecraft is a game that I can go to all the time, and I really enjoy it. But I also have trouble because sometimes it gets repetitive. But Minecraft is a game where I just remember the first night that I ever stayed in a world. I built myself a little dirt shack, and I tried to survive. I didn't know how to build anything. I didn't know how to craft. I built myself a little shack and just sat there all night listening to zombies. I've never been so terrified in a child's game in my life. Minecraft is a game that I wish I could go back and replay it. Because as you get used to playing Minecraft and you learn little nuances, or you learn how to get experience faster, or how to start up farms, it becomes boring after a while. So for me, it started to become a little boring because I know how to do a ton of XP farms. If you guys ever come to some of my streams or watch some of my videos, you'll know that personally, I try my best to avoid using XP farms. Now, am I going to use them sometimes if I need to hurry up and get something, like if I've died? Yes, I will. But I try my best to avoid automating things because I feel like that takes away from what Minecraft is supposed to be. Minecraft, though, the first time I played it, I wish I could have that feeling back again of how terrifying it was. I'd never been so scared of a child's game in my life. But I was also having so much fun. Were my builds the best? No. But I feel like as I've grown and gotten used to Minecraft, I've lost some of my creativity. Which happens over time when you run out of ideas. A lot of the ideas I've had, I've already built. So I wish I could go back to before I had built anything. But I wish that if I restarted, I would be in these newest updates. Because it would give me so many more things to work with. Because I feel like I've used all my creativity on some of those lower or some of those earlier worlds that I made. And I love going back to look at them. And finally, the one other game that I wish I could replay for the first time ever would be Black Ops 1. Now, I know this is Black Ops 3 gameplay, but sadly my Black Ops 1 disc is broken, so I couldn't get footage with it, and I didn't want to go through and do things the hard way by asking people to use their footage. But Black Ops 1 was the first game that I got to play with friends, where I got to have a lot of fun. Halo, like I said, was my first introduction into first-person shooters. But back in the day, me and my buddies didn't have 2 controllers, so we would just take turns with Halo. By the time we started playing Black Ops 1, we actually had 2 controllers, so it was a lot easier to play with each other. I just remember going to my buddy's place after school. We bought a pizza, we bought cheese sticks, and we would go back to his house and just play zombies. Just Kino for 3 hours. I also remember when I was younger playing at my cousin's house. Now my cousin's house was a lot different. He lived in the basement, so what we would do is we'd turn all the lights down. He had some LED lights in the basement, and we'd turn the lights to red to try and match the ambience of Black Ops 1. And we would just make it feel like we were truly there in the moment, like playing in the world. And it was terrifying. Damned is the name of the song that is playing in the background right now. A lot of you probably remember the first time you ever heard that song. For me, it was terrifying. I am a big scaredy cat when it comes to certain games, and this game was no exception. But Black Ops 1 gives me some of the fondest memories with my cousin and with one of my buddies from high school. So that is why it also is a game that I wish would be remade, or I could go back and play it for the first time. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what games you wish you could go back and play for the first time, and I will talk to you in the next video.